Yeah, mindset is very interesting lately. I've seemingly got nearly infinite energy in very specific ways. Like yesterday, I was working on 3 hours of sleep with no coffee, and I still got through the day, and I wasn't hardly any more tired than I would have been if I hadn't had this, what is now being a burst for energy. Um, the ability to like do whatever without needing to have as much effort and to have leeway, wiggle room to experiment, to more fully, more appropriately come into my own and to understand the world, as it were, at large, and more appropriately grasp everything that was in front of me. So even my voice has become deeper. Like I thought that maybe it's just, you know, me getting sick or something, but this is just kind of I don't even know if it's visibly or audibly noticeable for most people, but obviously it's more noticeable for me because I'm the one talking, and the notes are reflected much more in my head than they are outside of it, I think. Anyway, things come a lot easier without the feel or the need to be more. I do actually still have the urge to be more, but I am able to resist the urge, as it were. Goodness gracious. My throat was not this bad before I started talking, I promise. Um, I really like the way things are going. I need some water. Goodness. Uh, I like the way things are going. I It was a pretty simple change, but still, I feel like I had to be primed for where I am, primed for where I want to be going, and able to accept the the where I am, and realize also that it's not a hard locked, left or right, white or black, on or off. It's a flow of the cosmos, as it were. The entire thing is the experiment to to see what you are capable of and to realize that you have leeway and to try and bend not necessarily the rules but push forward as if there were no obstructions. So, viewing the world as if nothing were going to stop you, at least of all yourself, because I have been a large proponent in tapping myself and releasing my own energy because I didn't think myself worthy of it or something along those lines. And now I am instead realizing that the fear and the destruction of my own power has left me to become a victim, become the thing that I don't want to be, and allow myself to rely on others in extraordinary ways, like trying to seek others' input before trying to do things on my own more often than not. Which, while it could be seen as something that is a valuable skill to say, hey, I have all these different things at my disposal, it's also an incredibly more valuable skill to say, hey, I noticed this was a thing that needed done, so I did it, as opposed to saying, okay, there is this thing, there's this other thing, which should I do first? Just picking a thing, sticking to the thing, doing it till it's done. It's a very, very important mindset that I have been working on now. I have been noticing improvements. I've been trying to pick things and put them into pieces and, break them down to their base components so that they are more easy to tackle. And it's like all of everything that had been coinciding up until this point has just become easier to notice and to regulate and to feel. So It was like I was working on hard mode on purpose and then I just switched it to easy, but I still have some things that I need to be working on. Like, I know for a fact today I will be at work for at least 4 hours, and during those 4 hours, my mind will want to be everywhere but where the work is, and I will be having to constantly redirect it to the moment to say, hey, where you are is where you should be right now. Or, alternatively, if you don't want it to be where you are right now, find an alternate path for you to walk later. And nobody can judge you for where you end up going because, that's not their position to do. Only you can say, this is the right path for me. And, I want to say that I've given my best and my all to all the things that I do. Instead of saying I gave 10%, just even 40% is an improvement at this point, and I feel like that's close to where I am right now, is closer to 40% than 10%. I don't know if it's anywhere near 100. I doubt it, but it's more of a giving 100% attention to everything rather than focusing on the things that aren't, focusing on the things that are. And it has been such a minor yet substantial shift where the duplicitousness of everything is much more obvious. So both sides of everything are more pronounced, and things are going forward. Things have always been going forward, but now I am going forward with them rather than feeling like I'm sitting idly by the sidelines and not having any agency or, opinion to give. Now, well, I could have taken advantage of it previously, but I told myself I couldn't because I didn't want it, because I thought I wasn't capable of doing anything with it. Well, soon enough, there will be causes, there will be reasons, and there will be things that I have to do, whether or not I'm ready, so I may as well prepare for the things that I can see, and use the preparations that I have for the things that I don't, and also for the things that aren't yet. Not to say I should try and prepare for everything, but I should prepare, and the everything will end up coming to me in its own time and turn. I will only ever really necessarily have to accept each moment as it comes. There's no such thing as trying to go and be something and trying to be more. It's not the something that I'm trying to be, it's the trying to be everything that's a problem. And trying to think everything, trying to be everything when I'm already everything, as it were, and accepting where I am and who I am is how I do the things that I want to do. Accepting that I am me, and me is great, good enough, and wonderful, and I don't have to be anything else. But I probably still will. I will still end up growing. I will still end up learning. And I don't think anything can stop me.